But let's introduce everyone. I'm Slayton. I'm a warlock, joined as usual by my fun co-host from Bullethead's Destiny. It's Bullethead's Clan on Destiny, not Bullethead's Destiny. You can tell I've had a week. So let's introduce everybody. We have
Maddie. I'm a hunter.
And
DP hunter / warlock.
And
I'm Arctic. I am a warlock / hunter.
So it was funny this week. Last week we did a raid with one of my family members who loves PvP, and he was trash talking you two. I was laughing my ass off.
I was like, look, after a minute when he went to Skyburners and was like, yeah, Skyburners great. I was just like, yeah, okay.
Grizzly Ninja's new to the clan, and he loves PvP. And I was like, dude, you're not going to win anything against those two. Trust me. They are like, they know what they're fucking doing. And he's like, I'm going to take them on. And I would be like, yeah, we're going to do this. I'm like, good luck.
Takes me back to Halo 3 1v1 days. It's like 1v1 me. Do it.
Yeah.
You won't.
I used to do that in Call of Duty too. It's like 1v1 me. Please 1v1 me.
Bring it. Well, the other night they played Halo 4. And yeah, he and Cynic were playing Slayer. And I was watching them play, and I was like, you guys, you could tell who plays for fun and who plays to try to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite hilarious. So, needless to say, when the three of you are in a match, I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to be laughing because it's going to be quite hilarious.
Unfortunately, I've been in PvP, and it has not been fun at all. It's not fun anymore. Like,
apparently not. Your phone's set around now.
Even my coffee cup was like, screw PvP. But yeah.
Nope. They love the same mindset.
Next year, we're going to be splitting the show into two parts. There's going to be a strictly PvP focused segment and a strictly talk focused segment. Because after doing this for the few months we've been doing, I'm realizing what's working and what's not working. And we need more PvP talk time with these two. I'm trying to remember how to point. Yeah,
you did Arctic like this a minute ago. Like
my arm was all like. And then we're gonna be doing a talk. So you'll see that schedule probably up on the Bulletheads website, which is bulletheads.org, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the Kaiju Lab site. We've had the worst technical issues this month. We don't know what's been going on, but December's been like. So if this show decides to just derail at some point in time, you can blame the technological gods. But today we're just going to be keeping it kind of short and simple because we each have a wish list of things we wish Bungie would announce for Destiny. So this is our show where we want to talk about what do we want Bungie to actually fix, do, or add in 2021 as an announcement. It doesn't have to be in 2021, but something that we want them to actually address and fix and add, because they've done a whole bunch of these updates, but like we were talking ahead of time, they aren't really saying anything. And it's always the same thing. Oh, loot pool, guns, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm going to kick this off with something I think they should have done a long time ago, is fix the shader system. We don't need that to be an item to consumable whatsoever. I get that there's a lot of them, but maybe you can like favorite hotkey assortment of them that you want to be able to pick from. And I have too many shaders that I don't use.
Delete them, sir.
I have been deleting them. I've been deleting everything that I don't use. There's some that I like, but I'd also like them to be like, they have a thing for purples, a lot of purples and pinks, and a lot of blacks. Let us make our own color scheme. If you have the four colors, it shouldn't be that terribly hard. Let it be something fun. I think they need to overhaul the entire shader scheme because there are a few that I think look really, really good. But everything else is pretty much just pink and purples.
Chatterwhite from D1 should still be in the game.
So should
Glowhoop. And the Glowhoop. Yes, and the Glowhoop. See, I love you, Slayton. That's one.
I loved Glowhoop. Because, see, you know me. I'm wearing the raid armor because it's full of flair. It's got little stuff popped out, holograms, and I spent 2 hours coming up with my color scheme. I just think it's a waste of time. It's another freaking item for you to manage.
Yeah, it is.
Let us just maybe get rid of it. Just you create your own color schemes based on things. Maybe you have to open up colors. I don't know, but I really do wish they would revisit that because it's a wasted opportunity.
That
Are
would
the
be
stickers still
customization.
included in getting a collection done, though? And then some of the seals require you to finish a collection.
yeah, it's another thing to fill the Eververse with, and that's never going to change. We've been calling for this for 4 years, 3 years, 4 years,
For sure.
and still nothing's happened, nothing's changed. And giving us the ability to color our own stuff, even if we had to unlock or buy our own colors to do it, or textures, or whatever it is, that would be giving us player agency, and that's something that Bungie has not done in a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to Eververse, I can kind of understand if they wanted to make some of these things, but they really got to fix these prices. There is no reason you should be paying $15 for a set of ornaments.
Yeah, for sure.
I bought one thing from the Christmas set. I don't remember what it is,
Excuse me.
but I was not impressed. I was like, this stuff is too expensive. It's ridiculous. I should be paying $2 for an emote that I'm going to use twice because it's like a blue one.
I just have to ask where the Dawning designers are for the rest of the gear in Destiny. Dawning tends
Please.
to have the best looking stuff, and this year has some hit and miss pieces, but like the Hunter helmet, the Warlock chest piece.
Chest piece. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there, and then obviously we got the Xenophage and Monte Carlo ornaments that both look
That's
pretty
what I
good.
bought. The Xenophage ornament.
They're where's the rest of this stuff? Why is there so
All
much?
year?
Yeah, I get that they have to put resources into premium items, but where's this kind of stuff in the rest of the game?
Say I think there's a big missed opportunity with Shadowkeep to make more money. What was the most popular thing that came out of Shadowkeep in the Eververse was the Thorn ornament. The Thorn ornament was absolutely gorgeous, and you can't get it. I missed it, and I didn't get it. Maybe I would use my Thorn more.
Aren't they supposed to be rotating those? Because I realized the other day, if you go to the archive section of the store, it has got pretty much every legendary, exotic, whatever, the yellow ornaments on there. Because I was thinking, hey, maybe I could finally find the freaking falling guillotine, not the falling guillotine, the gnawing hunger one. It's not there.
Oh yeah, no,
but it's like pages upon pages of pages of the other one. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, they took legendary ornaments out of the cycle because of sunsetting, and that happened just before Season of Arrivals. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the Eververse store that, whatever, it's there to make money. I understand it's a business, got to make money in order to keep producing content. But can we talk about how like there's nothing left to do right now?
Okay, so I'm
Nothing.
trying to avoid that. I've been purposely playing other games like Plants vs. Zombies and Man Eater because I keep seeing everyone saying I'm out of things to do because we rushed through everything to get ready for the raid, which means we literally rushed through everything. And we got the roadmap, but I think we're at that point where we're kind of done for a few months because I see all these people who are like level 200 because they've already doubled their season pass. And
there's 2 streamers that are over 400 now. Grenader Jake is just hit over 400 on his season pass yesterday, and I believe Lucky, either Lucky or ZK, I can't remember, has also hit over 400. And they're all still playing Call of Duty and Cyberpunk and everything. Yeah,
playing in Trials this weekend is consistently finding people that are over 300 in their season pass.
I'm surprised they went through with Trials. How bad is it with Stasis?
I was watching some people doing trials yesterday, a couple random streamers here and there, and it seems like it's pretty lopsided. Like every
Trials
match
of the
I paid
States.
attention to, it was either total domination or you get totally dominated. It didn't really seem like, and I don't know if that has to do with stasis or maybe the
So
matchmaking.
So the issue with trials is because stasis is so overpowered, you're literally going to see maybe two different subclasses, top tree Dawnblade, or you're going to see stasis on any other, like if you're not using stasis, you're pretty much putting yourself at a disadvantage. And because the way stasis is built, and y'all all know I've been saying this since day one, that stasis in its current state should not have a big place in PvP, any PvP. But now that the trials always exposes your sandbox big time. And with stasis being as overpowered as it is, a lot of the games that I've watched is very, very slow. Awaiting on your abilities to come back, because stasis is an ability heavy subclass, and it's overpowered. So you're either waiting for someone to engage, or you have your abilities and you're just going all in, not caring at all, because I'm just going to freeze you over here and haha. So that's the big issue with trials right now.
Yeah, and right now the weapon sandbox is actually really good. There is a huge variety of things that people are using. You're seeing lots of scouts, hand cannons, even some auto rifles, especially with the Summoner Adept, people getting that to drop. Everything is being used. It's great. And then you have stasis that is so ability focused, like DP said. That's all trials is right now. You have teams that will bum rush you with their shatter slides or the shatter dives, and wipe your entire team instantly. And the way that that intellect has been tuned, your supers are up 2 or 3 times per trials match because of how slow everything is. It's insane. It's nothing but getting frozen or freezing, and
it's not fun.
No, it's not fun. And you have the people that go out of their way to avoid using stasis because they don't want to feed into it.
That's me.
But again, like DP said, if you're not using it, you're at a disadvantage.
Yep. And you can feel it too. If you go into comp, it's literally teams, even if you're in freelance, teams of stasis. So either they're going to push you and throw all their abilities at you, and you only have 6 respawns. So immediately one little hunter with a glacier nade can throw it. Like you're being punished for playing long distance, and you're being punished if you're on PC on a controller. Sniping has become damn near impossible, but I still do it. So I'm kind of punished on PC with controller for sniping. But if you get up close and you're very aggressive, then you're also punished for doing that too.
Yeah. So
I haven't watched any trials. I think I'm going
not
to
missing
later
anything.
tonight just because it's been
bad.
so long and I want to see it. Because I'm never going in there. I'm never going in trials. I'm nowhere near good enough to even attempt that. Unless I took in stasis just to throw it out and fuck with people.
Yeah. I would take the auto rifle meta over stasis right
I think I would too, for sure.
I don't know what I'm going to do when Gnawing Hunger gets sunset. Like, I'm going to have a funeral for that gun. It's always with me.
Summoner is just as good, if not better.
Actually, right now, I know it's not for PvP, but just talking about sunsetting. If you look at the dawning weapons, even though the emblem is still from way back, it still says that their light cap is 1410, and the cold front right now can roll Dragonfly. It's not supposed to, and DMG went on Twitter and said that wasn't supposed to happen. We're going to look into it. Get it while you can. So other than Ace of Spades, it's the only kinetic weapon that can roll Dragonfly and do solar damage, and it caps out at 1410, whereas the Ikelos SMG for because there's only 3 750 SMGs. That's the Cold Front, the Ikelos SMG, and then the Huckleberry. That's the only three. Yeah, that matter. Well, no, I think that is the only 3, right?
No.
750s? I think so.
I thought
I'm not
that
sure.
matter because it's the same archetype.
Is it a
as Recluse.
750?
Pretty sure. I have to look it up.
I got you right here. It is
You guys know so many details in each gun.
900.
Yeah, it's kind of scary how good they are.
Mhm.
But when we talk about trials, one of the things I really hope they would finally do is announce a PvE weekend thing, like a straight up horde mode or something, because I think the game desperately needs some 4-player activities. I mean, 3 is fine, but you always have that one extra friend that you don't get to take with you unless you're doing a raid. And I think it'd be fun if they finally said, here's some 4-player stuff. We do it only on weekends if that's it. So that there's more things to maybe bring people back outside of trials, because trials is for a very select few people, like you two down there. But
maybe not even us right now.
Not me right now. Hell no.
But I think something that could appeal to a wider audience on weekends, maybe you rotate them out, like a horde mode or like special raid layers or things like that. I think that could be a fun thing for them to announce. And I think it's something that's really, really missing, because we're almost to the point where, like we said, we have nothing to do. But if you could jump in on a Saturday and play some fun horde modes and get some fun things or whatever the weekend event is, because people go back for trials, I think it would be a nice change. I think it'd be an addition and a nice change.
Did anyone expect another 6-man activity and was not delivered?
No, I feel like I expected a lot of things and didn't get a lot of things.
At least in the Bungie dev update, they admitted that they dropped the ball on weapons, on the carrot on a stick. What are we going to have you chase? They dropped it big time, and that was from the assistant game director. So, but the only problem was he said that nothing's going to happen until next season. Mike, so we have a month and a half of a roadmap that's pretty much the same as it always has been. Iron Banner, Dawning, Iron Banner. We give you some crap exotic that's probably not going to be worth anything.
I didn't even bother.
Yeah. I played Iron Banner on one character. I had some really good games. And honestly, like, I got a steady hand from older tokens that I was like, yo, I got a god roll right here that I'm only going to use. And then the scout rifle, I feel wasn't worth it. So I was done.
Hawkmoon came out. I'm not going to use any of it.
Nope. They destroyed the legacy of Hawkmoon for sure.
I haven't fully gotten it yet. I'm going to probably play that next weekend, because I've been purposely playing with new weapons, sniper rifles. I fell in love with Malfeasance. I've got the ornament for it that makes it look like a taken gun. I didn't realize how awesome that gun was until I started using it.
Especially in Gambit. If you play Gambit, it's really good against invaders.
It's amazing just to watch their health melt with all the explosions that you don't even see. I had to pull up the roadmap because I thought we were getting a different form of Wrathborn hunt soon, but no. I mistaken the fact that they started Empire hunts and then Wrathborn hunts.
Yeah, they should have changed the name of the Empire hunts, because it has nothing to do with it, but people got that confused.
I hate honestly Empire hunts. It's the same mission over and over and over again, and there's only 3 of them.
The only reason why you would go and do them is either for your Pinnacle or for Cloud Strike.
Yeah.
And right now, I couldn't be bothered to even log into the game and go farm cookies.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now.
All I'm doing. Like, that's like, other than, I would say the most fun I've had this season is doing the 1280 legendary lost sectors. And for what I don't know, just a challenge. I've enjoyed the raid, but I've gotten enough clears to go, hey, cool. I just need my rocket launcher. That's all I need out of the raid. And
I still need a couple pieces, and I'm still going to log in for the 3 final rotational challenges for the seal.
That's what I'm
But
doing.
I have over 60 clears of the raid. I don't need to go do that anymore. We were going for speed runs, and then they patched the door in order to try and get sub 20 minutes on console. Closest we got was like 21 minutes, 30 some seconds. So,
yeah,
whatever.
I've gotten 27 clears, and I was just like, you know, I could go for a lot of clears like Arctic and all the RIs and stuff like that. And I'm just going, for what? I have all my God rolls. I have everything but the rocket launcher. So I'm going to run it 3 times a week until I get my rocket launcher. And then if, you know, someone says, hey, do you want to help out with the training rate? Yeah, cool. But beyond that, I'm done.
Frankly, if I didn't have obligations to bullet heads, I would not be playing Destiny at all right now.
That's really sad.
The life of an admin.
It's the state of this game. They give you a bunch of stuff. Everyone rushes through it because they're so desperate for it, and then we have months of downtime. And I
there really wasn't a bunch of stuff
events
to
were
do.
supposed to help that.
No, there wasn't.
A majority of the runtime of the campaign was due to the fact that there's no rally point at the top of the map of Europa. You're just traveling back and forth everywhere.
I'm like still like, where is my fast travel?
60% of what that campaign is driving on a Sparrow
through the snow, through the storm, and that's what they wanted, was for you to be on your Sparrow to experience the storm that's going to make you feel like you're in there. No, I'm just like, okay,
it's just annoying.
It's a little bit of
when the wind
that,
starts blowing, and then you can't drive your Sparrow. It's like, all right, I guess I'll walk.
So,
like
the last
the
thing I have on my
hero of the raid, yeah, I can't see shit. I don't know where I'm at.
Oh yeah. Maddie loses her shit in that part.
So the last thing I have on my list is the supers, of course, because everyone had that talk this week. Why would you develop a new system for supers without a plan to update the 3 previous ones?
Oh, there is the plan. It's first to get rid of the ones that aren't IP defining.
Yeah, IP defining. So Arctic also saw the interview with Luke Smith then too. I was disgusted. I was disgusted, honestly.
Why? Tell me, because I haven't watched the whole interview.
Okay, so basically, Luke Smith points out the unpopular IP defining. You know, that's what he says. He goes, well, if you're using a void subclass, what's the point in using Nova Warp? You know, it's a PvP focused, and we're going to get into this later from my thoughts, but it's a PvP focused super.
Talking,
but no one uses it.
Void Walker specifically.
Yeah,
like Nova Bomb versus Nova Warp.
So what are you going to use most of? An IP defining super like Top Tree Nova Bomb. It is. Then you bring
either
in,
top or bottom.
Or bottom. So then you have your Nova Warp. And he specifically pointed out, possibly getting rid of it in his own little words, bottom tree.
I believe, sorry to step over you. I believe the words were, Stasis has a very singular identity. You know what you're getting into. Versus the other trees have, either 2 very different identities, stuff that doesn't really work together. The other example was like Dawnblade versus Well of Radiance. Those are 2 very different play styles, and both are very popular for 2 different reasons. And that clashes with their design philosophy of Stasis. And basically what he came down to is, while it may not happen for years,
it's coming.
Reorganizing these light subclasses would mean getting rid of one of those identities.
And
so Well of Radiance or Dawnblade. But he kind of put the emphasis on Dawnblade. Could possibly go away because I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. It's just, if you read it, he does point out that you ram a sword in the ground and you buff and this, that, and the other. But then on the other hand, you're
in the air, flying around, throwing swords. It just doesn't make sense. So, and I'm going to keep this one just short. Bungie, in my opinion, is trying to phase out PvP because they want their game to be an MMORPG.
Yeah, and their subclasses and the explanations that Luke Smith used point towards it. It's like Nova Warp Wallet. My biggest thing is that some of these subclasses and subclass trees aren't IP defining because they nerf them into the ground and they're not good. That's their fault. That's something that they need to figure out and get fixed and create these IP defining supers. That's not what they want to do. They're just going to vault more shit that we paid for.
That's it.
So I'm not real happy about it either.
Man, you're having a tough day with Destiny.
I've been having a tough since Beyond Light. When they introduced Stasis.
Admittedly, once we got through the raid, and I continued to play for a few more days, but after that, I've been taking a break. I went and I've been playing Valhalla to do that, and part of it was, I mean, one, because I've been waiting for that game to come out forever, but two is if I go and switch, and I do this a couple times a year, I go figure out a game, switch out of Destiny, and by doing it mid-season, now if I'll probably finish Valhalla before the end of the year, and then come January, I now can enjoy some of this stuff because I haven't went in and did all of the, the hunt, either the Empire hunts or doing all the crow stuff. Came in, I got to log in now and do cookies. I mean, because that's seasonal. You only have a short time to go through all of that. But the exotics, that kind of thing, I could do that in January and still have something to do. And I feel like it's about this time of year, which, I mean, this time of year is when all your new games get released. So it's probably has to do with a lot of that. And then maybe once in the summertime where I just take a week or two and just see you later, Destiny. I'll come visit once or twice, but we need some space. It's kind of like, having a mini breakup.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I just recently put my boat in the shop. It is getting a complete overhaul. When I say overhaul, I'm talking about inside and out. They are going to gut it. They're going to make it, wood free, no rot. It is going to be by my design, so my ass is going to be fishing a lot.
Yeah. My whole thing is that I wouldn't be talking about Destiny the way that I do if I didn't care about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just want to have a game that I can constantly go back to and enjoy. And a lot of that is PvP focused because, even in the driest of droughts for Destiny, PvP was always something that you could constantly play. And right now, I can't think of anything less fun because of Stasis. And that sucks. So I, outside of doing some seal hunting, some seal meaning the titles and the seasonal stuff, and raid trainings or whatever other events we decide to do, I'm playing other games. I got Cyberpunk, I got Valhalla, I got Watch Dogs, and I got Immortals Phoenix Rising because all that went on sale for deep cuts on the Xbox store. So if you got games that you're wanting to buy, it's all available right now.
So that was a list of some of the things I was looking at. What about you guys?
What's that?
What kind of things would you hope Bungie would announce that they're fixing or adding?
First, an anti-cheat. If you watched any streamer this weekend, you noticed unlimited, heavy ammo, automatic colonies.
Even with the SMS verification stuff, it is still rampant.
Yep. Frostbolt and ZK, I was watching them because I was like, well, let me see what Trials is up to. They went up against infinite colony ammo, wall hacking, aimbotting. If you looked at Aztecross, he ran into a lot of aimbotters and teleporters. I think Jake ran into an automatic rocket launcher again
I was watching him on Friday and yesterday a little bit, and it's
like
pretty
Jake.
bad.
Yeah, it's you know, Frostbolt put out a tweet, and it kind of sums it up that Trials is just not fun. He said it's so ability focused that it's just slow. Like everyone's using stasis, and they won't push past mid map. Jake was watching a lot of three peekers. I'm talking everyone's three peeking with swords.
Yep,
And
everyone, even on console, that's all we faced. Even in the very early matches, that's what we got.
So if Bungie's plan, and I believe this, and I was just talking to Icy Lion when we were doing the farm, I said my opinion has and always will be that they want to kill PvP, and by introducing stasis, they have done exactly that. Because I've looked at the numbers of players in PvP, and because of the cheating, the numbers are down. So that's where I feel that they need to address for an anti-cheat, and they need to introduce 2 separate sandboxes, but they're not going to do it.
Nope. We've been asking them to do that since Destiny 1 Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
So
2 separate sandboxes, and they're not going to do it.
give us good loot. Give us stuff to go chase. Even the adept weapons, like you would go in there for the mods, and the adept mods aren't even good. If you want adept trials weapons that look like terrible shaded colored Nerf guns, sure,
They are
go for
horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I was kind of upset when they told us that if we dismantle, we don't get that shader. I wouldn't use it anyway. It's terrible. It's ugly.
Going back to your shader issue.
Yep, but I mean, the only time the adept mods would be really beneficial is when the Grandmasters come out with the 3 weapons, Palindrome, Shadow Price, and the Swarm. And when all those get adept versions in the PvE side, that's the only time those mods would be useful. But I'm so upset that I don't want to play PvP.
They need to address their way of thinking when they design mods and weapons, because it's like Arctic said, if you look at the mods, they're not that great. You're actually going to get punished for using a mod that you went flawless for, which is extremely hard to do. Most people don't make it past game 3, and so address your mod issue, address your overall weapon, which they did announce they were going to bring in more people for your weapons and things like that. But at the same time, are they going to tell those people this is how we want it? You're going to have to work around this system, or are they going to let them go free with it? Because the Destiny community as a whole has shrunk quite a bit lately.
Yeah, you would think that there'd be an uptick in growth with the new release and with the expansion going on sale, and it's the holidays, and you have all the Christmas noobs because those are our favorite. But I just don't
overall PvP numbers are down by 200,000 people a day, and PvE is down by like 165,000 the last I looked, which was a few days ago. So you're losing a third of your community. You got to look at the things that you're doing. Like you said, Slayton, what do you need to look at? You need to look at your overall whole game and your way of thinking. I know you want it to be your game, but it's the gamers who are making it the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you wouldn't be relevant without us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so when you start stepping on the toes of your community members, whether it be PvP or PvE, it's not gonna go well. I mean, these guys have made an identity; they have made careers out of this game, and while they may be eternally thankful for it, even Dado is like,
whatever.
Being a multi-game streamer is probably the call, because
that's what he's done.
It's not sustainable on Destiny anymore.
I watched that same video.
Yep.
So I wonder, you know, when they made the base Destiny free and they introduced New Light, how many of those people did they actually keep? How many of those people started playing the game and then actually bought the expansion to continue playing?
I know 5.
Oh, okay.
I
they
know
kept-
about 10 others who just started playing New Light, and
Okay,
they're really
well,
enjoying
and then
Destiny.
maybe here's the other thing is, because I had heard feedback before when New Light was first introduced that it was extremely confusing. Somebody who had never played Destiny before
It was never in depth
wrote it
enough.
in, and it's just like overload.
Yeah,
Don't know
it's a
where to
little
go.
bit overload.
Don't know what to start.
Yeah, I mean, you get through that initial.
Kind of
You
give
get through
more-
that. Yeah, you get through that initial quest, and then you have everything dumped on you, and it's like, okay, where's my direction? Where do I go from here? And sometimes giving a kid the entire sandbox all at the same time isn't the greatest idea.
No.
Yeah, because if you get to a point where you're so overwhelmed by a game, you turn it off and you walk away. You're like,
Well,
that's
see, here's what Destiny and or your Bungie needs to really think about too. Your top streamers are getting tens of thousands of views on YouTube. They're getting thousands of views on Twitch and any other outlet. Well, if they're new to Destiny and they say, well, let me look up some videos, and they hear that the top people that are streaming this are just not happy, and you know, what's kind of mindset is that going to put a new light player into? While I love Destiny and I always say, yeah, you know, it's not in a great state, but it's a great game because it's different. You know,
well, just the moment to moment gameplay of Destiny, the shooting, the movement, the everything is so fucking good.
So good
that it's hard to put down. It's the crack cocaine of gaming. It is that good. However, the infrastructure that is built around it and the foundation that it has is not in a good spot right now. They're letting the pipes leak. They're letting their stuff fall to ruin right now. And you know, as great of an idea as the DCV was, that's a lot of game that just isn't there. I might not have ever touched stuff on Mercury after the initial campaign, you know, 3 years ago, but it was there. It was available if I wanted to go do it, and it's not there anymore. There just isn't anything to do right now.
Slayton, what do you think, man? You've been awful quiet through all this.
Same with Maddie. I want to hear some more thoughts from Maddie too.
Yeah, Maddie. So one thing when it comes to streamers, the people I know watch these streamers, they're not perturbed by what they say because they know they're not that professional level. They want to go have fun. So I have 3 new friends who just picked up Destiny in the past 2 weeks, and they're just having the best time. It was a little confusing at first, but I was kind of there to kind of guide them, and they're having the best time. They absolutely just having a great time because they're new.
Right.
So they could watch these streamers and be like, oh, this and this. They know they're not going to get to the end game level of the elite. They just want to have a good experience.
Well, and you also have to think how big of a difference you made on their ability to enjoy the game too. Having somebody to guide their hand
since the beta days, it's become a joke all over the place. Like I said, I ordered the Destiny Christmas stocking from the Bungie store. It's not here yet, but I did order it. I have a problem.
Ghost, damn it.
I may or may not have bought in the Hawk Moon miniature sculpture that went on sale because you unlocked it.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not going to buy those because I'm going to start 3D printing those. The 3D printer's on its way over here. I could just print them. There's a whole site you can go get all the STL files.
So in other words, he got lazy on us. While he handcrafted something for Maddie and put a lot of thought and effort into it, we're just going to get the lazy 3D print. Okay, I got you
still
I'll
have
just
to
order it online.
Still have to customize it. But no, you guys are getting ornaments next year when I make the next batch. It's sad to think that it's come this far and they haven't been able to fix the basics of the 2 sandboxes, because PvP should be a completely separate ballgame. Ballgame.
They've never done it though. You can't balance.
It doesn't play the same.
No, you can't balance PvP and PvE. Like stasis, don't get me wrong, I love stasis. In PvE, it is top notch. It
is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. But in PvP, goes back to my point, and I'm probably going to make a video on this myself and point out the fact that I think they want to kill PvP, and they knew stasis would be a big hand in that because they want their game to be an MMORPG. Any successful MMORPG, if you look back in history, with the exception of a few, have tried PvP. It doesn't work. They stick with their MMORPG. It becomes popular, it becomes big, and it becomes mainstream. I think WoW tried PvP, and that didn't work too well. So they're like, here's a tiny little section where we're not going to worry about it. So I think that's what Bungie wants to do.
Well, and here's the thing too, is that every opportunity Bungie has had to make Destiny mainstream, they've dropped the ball. Every major release, minus Forsaken. But the thing is that after how bad that first year of D2 was, nobody really knew what to expect from Forsaken. And then everyone came back after Forsaken came out. So it's a clash of design philosophies. Stasis as an idea is really good, especially if you're thinking PvE. But if your game is based around mobility and moving and just flying and doing all sorts of superhuman things, but your response to that is to freeze them for however many seconds, that doesn't work.
Like, I'm a hunter main in PvP. I can't get off of. I play all three, but when I just want to go in, of course I'm going to use my hunter. But you've neutralized the entire dodge ability with stasis. You can freeze in mid dodge. You can freeze in anything. So what good is a hunter and his abilities if you can just cast your wand at me and freeze me, or throw a nade and just jump on the ground and
throw the infamous blowjob grenade that pulls you out of cover and freezes you and can't use it. The big suck doesn't let you use any abilities or anything like that.
Which, by the way, the big suck does not work on overload captains the way it should. Captains only.
No, it doesn't.
Because I was in the 1280 legendary lost sector this morning. I was like, I want a good pair of Frosties because they're really good with stasis, and I don't have a good pair. So I was like, okay, it's legs, it's 1280, I'm 1275. I'm still getting owned, but I throw it. I think I restarted the very start of the Concealed Void like 14 times because I throw my big suck at them. It doesn't suck them.
They walk right back at it.
It will freeze them solid, but because there's a barrier over here that is tethering him, even though he's frozen, he doesn't get disrupted. Yeah. So I'm like, wait a second. So then I lose my nade, and because I'm not too focused on nades, I now have to wait another minute and a half. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to restart this. I've only killed 6 enemies. And I don't know. I think it's a little broken on overload captains. The fact that they can move 1,900 times in 10 seconds. I think we've all experienced that one. But either way.
So, Maddie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Maddie and Slayton.
I'm good. I want to hear from Maddie. She's just been sitting there going,
Yeah, she's just laughing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it's fun to hear from your guys' point of view, being PvP players and seeing, what your experience, what you look forward to in Destiny. I got sucked into Destiny because of the story. The gameplay too, yeah, but it's about the story. That's what gets me in games, is taking on an adventure. Like, I'm reading a book and I'm experiencing this. Because to me, a game is a giant movie that I get to play and watch for hours and hours and hours. So, well, I agree with you that yes, content gets a little dry and it can get a little lacking, especially when you have players that go in and I even did it at the beginning of this season, which is that's a new thing for me, is to go in and just grind the shit for 2 weeks and get everything done and be to a point where I don't have anything to do. That's crazy. But what I'm looking forward to in the next year is I really want to see where the story is going to go. I have to say that I am really disappointed with Aldrin or the Crow's presence in this season. Is very lackluster, but I've been hearing some rumors that he's the focus of the next season. I don't know if that's true or not, and that the next season is going to be called The Chosen One, which
Season of the Chosen.
Yeah, and so it's just like, to me, I kind of figured this is what I thought of Aldrin in Forsaken. The moment we or Petra, whoever, we don't know who did it, but murdered him, and after the story of how he was being a puppeteer, I knew there was more to that story. I knew it wasn't done. I knew it was going to be back, and I knew it was going to be epic. And it's starting to come true, and so I'm getting really excited about the story.
Have you read the lore?
Some of it, not all of it.
It goes very in depth. You should read it.
I need to get into getting the grimoires and reading those and stuff like that.
And the Hawkmoon quest certainly helps with that too.
Okay.
Sure.
Which I haven't started. So or maybe I started the first step.
Go do it. If not for the gun, just the character building that does for the Crow and Glint.
Okay. And is that the one where I'm picking up feathers?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I just started it yesterday. Yep. So
it's a big insight.
I'm gonna get excited about stuff. And then plus, let's meet the third sister. She's kind of always been hiding in the background, or she's went off in her own direction. Let's
talk about Jivu Arath.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Witch Queen is gonna have a big deal with that one.
Like she is. Yep, that's her thing. So I'm kind of interested to see her, even though, I didn't play D1, so I didn't have the Crota experience. I didn't have, those initial experiences with the Hive. I've done a lot reading on the background. And so plus, with rumors of bringing in a new alien race. And then, this kind of, we still don't know for sure if the darkness is bad. I mean,
I don't think it is.
The light is good. We've done some shady shit in our lives as Guardians that I wouldn't say was completely, good or bad. It was that gray area, and that's kind of where I'm liking bringing in this gray area. Let's do the Crow. I want to see more Osiris though too. I've been missing him. Like he needs to get involved in the story too.
He's an expensive voice actor, so.
Yeah,
I forget the name of the actor, but he was the mummy in the Mummy, like the Brandon Fraser movies. Yep. So he's very expensive.
Yeah, I think Ikora is behind everything.
He's not the actual mummy.
Ikora.
The guy who was guarding him.
She's too quiet.
That's why she's so quiet.
She's too quiet. She is the mastermind of all this stuff. Her and Zavala are the mastermind. So they had to oust Cade. They're like, you know what? We're just going to let Cade go do his thing. He's brash and cocky. We know he's going to die. We know this. We're going to sit over here. That's why, Zavala's like, we're going to do nothing. We will not lose any more Guardians. I was like, yo, you need to go attack now. And look what happened. Now we done lost all kinds of crap. You stupid. Never mind.
I think Savathun is just feeding into everyone in the tower because that's Skull.
Yeah. Well,
the
and
one above Shax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. I'm also interested in the Exostranger story, like this whole conversation and talk of timelines. And in my reality, it was different. The darkness won, and then how did that happen? So that's bringing into the whole Vex thing too, because they used the portal of Vex in order to create the Exos way back with in the beginning, and so how is that going to come into play? Are we going to have something where the Vex come back after us, and we have the Hive, and the darkness is pulling the string all along in the background, or yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different areas we can go in, and
We're
so
supposed to team up with the Cabal, right?
what is the next
I haven't
part
seen
of
that.
the story?
Haven't seen us team up with the Cabal. Haven't seen the new alien race. Haven't seen anything.
And we saw in some of the preview stuff that we will be in a room with the Cabal, so we know that we're going to work with them at some point.
Yep.
Like,
And
are we going to all get together? Is it going to be us, the Fallen, the Cabal, all against?
yeah, because we haven't seen Mithrax back since Outbreak, and he's the Kell of House Light. So
we're also waiting for the Aramis story to. She's just on the balcony,
frozen. I don't think she's dead. She's not going away.
No, she's not dead.
Well, what's this body they talked about that she?
Well, they even the
body was panics.
They even said it in the storyline that she's not dead; she's just asleep, and that was right before we killed Kritis. So it's like she sleeps, and then it's like you said, they said there's a body somewhere. Well,
the body was Tannix. She sent Atrax to go wake up Tannix.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
okay.
Well, can't we just go cut her in half? She's just sitting on a balcony.
Nice.
Like,
rated T for teen.
there you go. Just done.
Let me do my shatter dive on her, and it's over. Yeah, I've tried. Trust me, I was on top of her head. Bam, bam. Not
All she
working
needs is
at
a heat lamp. Just turn it on, let her melt.
Yeah. So
what's
there's
your
a lot of moving parts, and it is kind of sucky that it's like, well, we're just going to give you a little bit. Got to wait 8 weeks. Give you a little bit more. Now you got to wait 8 weeks.
Do you think
the
there was
original model is working the way that it should be
to get to the end of that mission?
So a thought just popped in my head. Maybe it was strategic that they knew it was going to get stale. Now they didn't think it was going to get this stale and this upsetting. But you got to think of the timeline and what released with Beyond Light. Look, you've got Cyberpunk. You've got the new Call of Duty. You've got a few other games that all released. Well, if they wait until the new has wore off of all these games and then they drop their major content for Beyond Light, that's the only thing that I could technically think of. They're like, okay, the holidays are over.
It's a fair thought, but they delayed Beyond Light before Cyberpunk delayed. Yeah, so there was no. They knew that stuff was going to be releasing. There was no way that they knew ahead of time that Cyberpunk was going to be delayed or the release date of some of this other stuff, because that stuff didn't come out until after Beyond Light was delayed.
True, very true. But at the same time, maybe they delay this season. If they keep putting delays on things, you're definitely going to drive a majority of your audience away.
The only thing I can think is that they did the opposite of what they did with Shadowkeep. They kind of front-loaded everything on Shadowkeep, including Season of Undying, and then we ran out of stuff to do in Season of Worthy, versus maybe they don't front-load everything this season and they keep it back-loaded.
Yep.
Their business model works for
depends on who you ask.
Yeah, about a month in their entire releases. A good solid month if you combine everything together for a 3-month expansion, or even 6 month, which now they're saying it's only going to be an annual expansion. And they're left with what? What are they left with? Well, we need more money, so we're going to change the Eververse. Well, make us content that's worth giving you our money.
And make it affordable.
Affordable, yes, extremely, because 5,000 Bright Dust, and I know that's just being...
It's an easier pill to swallow to spend $5 3 times than $15 once.
Exactly.
Correct.
I understand the downtime. There's other games we want to play. We're gamers.
Mm-hmm.
But I go back to thinking how excited we were for Beyond Light, because it was new. We're going to have fun. And here we are, not even 2 months out.
It's a
and we're kind of like, we're back to where we were. And it's going to be just a vicious, never-ending cycle until they do what you guys say, switch both sandboxes. And maybe trickle it a little more evenly throughout the year. Because you're right. They knew big games were coming. It's the holidays. They knew people were going to get new things. But people are always getting new things. You're going to have downtime. I shouldn't have to be in Destiny every single day. I should be able to play for a while, go play something else, come back, go to some pubs. But at the end of this, I always come back. I think that's the model they really need to focus on instead of this trying to get people to live in it.
Well, and we don't know what it's going to be like next season either, because they're changing the way that content goes away. Because these Wrathborn, I'm assuming, we don't know for sure, but I'm assuming the Wrathborn hunts aren't going anywhere, and they're just going to be expanded upon for next season, and all this stuff will just stick around all year, and then it gets removed.
So something I've actually never voiced was, and it's always been a thought, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree, I can't be the only one, but if you have your people grind out for the raid for the first week and a half to 2 weeks, then you introduce a Wrathborn hunt to where literally it's like, oh, this is going to be a difficult activity, and you speed through it in a minute. It's like
even the tier 2s aren't difficult.
That's what I was running earlier.
A minute and a half.
I was running the tier 2 for the Dawning Essence with Icy, and like I said before we started, we were doing it in under a minute. Literally, for me to just stand there while he kills the boss is about 20 seconds, maybe 30. And then I end the activity. I go start it up 10 feet away. He's back down there for 30 seconds. And we were just doing that over and over again. I got 500 essence in 30 minutes. So it's I was like, I expected more from the Wrathborn hunts. I really did. But once again, I was disappointed.
Well, the fact that we
reminded me of some of the other stuff that they brought in, like when we had the Osiris season. I never got into
the sundial.
Yeah, the sundial, and then what am I thinking of? They had something else a couple seasons prior to that kind of remind me of these Wrathborn hunts, where it's like, go do this, just build it up. The towers. The bunkers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of, to me, it feels similar to that. Am I going to go do it? Yeah. Because then I get to go visit the Crow every day. That's probably the only reason that I'm going and going to do all of the Wrathborn hunts.
Hopefully to learn more about him.
Yeah. Just go hang out with him once in a while. But so it's just something to add extra, kind of like when we had the bunkers and we had that sundial. I mean, there's more to the sundial. I took that season off a little bit. I took a break around sundial time. So
can we all agree that the menagerie was done absolutely wonderfully, and we haven't seen anything like it since?
I would love to have something like the menagerie
because it gave us player agency and what we wanted to do and what we wanted to earn.
And the encounters were fun.
Yeah, the encounters were fun, and they put a little bit.
5 other random people. You didn't have to have a team of 6 to go in and do it.
And they did a little bit of that in Deepstone Crypt with the final chest and giving us a little bit of agency in what we wanted. People are recommending, like Aztec Cross is recommending they do the same thing with Trials in that final chest.
Yep. I watched
Just
that
let us
same
pick
video.
what we want.
Why
Even
is
if
it
it's
a big
shit,
deal?
I would rather pick what I get.
Like, okay, so I went into the menagerie. I was like, you know what? I don't even use a Badlander, but I'm going to go get the Badlander. I want this snapshot, slide shot, so I can go try it. I don't have to have, it's kind of RNG'd, but I don't have to have major RNG for a world drop for it. And you know what? I kind of found that I used the Badlander a little bit in PvE and PvP. There were just certain things like, Arctic says we have choices. Give us our choices. Why are you restricting our choices to get stuff? And like D1 was never this restricted in my opinion.
No, if you wanted an IS Luna, you go grind Crucible.
You go grind Crucible. The bring back the Quartermaster from Vanguard and from Crucible. I loved going there. I loved the Arms Day was one of my favorite things. Got my favorite scout rifle to this day is the 2.0 Nella SR4. I still have it over on D1 because I loaded up D1 2 or 3 months ago. And it's like, give us that choice back.
Well, that requires vendor refreshes, which we have not had in 2 years.
Vendor refresh. No, we're just going to make one giant world loot pool of crap. I'm sorry. I
think
love
the other
Destiny,
thing-
and as much as we rant, we still come back to it because, like Arvid said, it is a very from movement to gunplay to everything. For everything about Destiny is great, other than they've restricted us way too much as players.
All it is, and these restrictions are to pad the time that we're stuck playing the game, because there isn't much substance there.
Have you noticed that they've been patching everything in like a day or two now, where you used to take weeks? It's like, okay,
quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad they have the ability to do that. But they fixed Warlock in the first week. Where's the adjustments to Hunter and Titan stasis?
So what I think is missing is that we discovered secrets like the Whisper of the Word mission, stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't think there's any of that been discovered or talked about. Has there been?
Nope.
Nothing's been. Well, I mean, even if there was, it would have been data mined.
True.
Very true. So what is this eggnog for from that second gift? It says specifically, do not consume.
Do not consume it. Yeah.
People are finding a whole bunch of like gag gifts, like things that you can't really do anything with that are just going to sit in your inventory.
Kind of like
the ramen coupons.
Page ramen coupon. Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a nostalgia thing, I think.
Give me something I can use.
Right?
If you're going to make us work this hard to raise this much level, it's like $1 billion.
So
give me something good.
Let's talk about the community event. And I love community events.
If it's done right.
If it's done right, I do love them. But we're at tier 3 right now?
Yes.
We're at the final tier, I believe.
No, there should be 4.
There's going to be an exotic one at the end. There's green, blue, purple,
and then yellow.
And then the exotic.
I thought I saw something on Twitter this morning that we're already at that point. We're getting ready to unlock it, but we're not even like halfway done with it because it's like $1 billion some.
I looked this morning, and because I was
I could be wrong,
doing some farming, and we were at 75% to get the adequate, which I believe is the blue.
Well, no, it started with the blue, then
it started with
green, then the blue. We should be on the purple because I got some wonky gun from the blue. I got the eggnog from the next one, and I haven't logged in to see what the third one is because I'm pretty sure we're there by now.
Let me look at the progress real quick on DIM.
Yeah, I think community events are great. That's another perfect idea to do for weekends. Come do a community event. But make it a table.
So share the dawning. We're on blue. We have to go to because we're at adequate, and we are at holy shit. 193,328,705
out of 250
million, and that's the adequate. We now have to go to generous, and that's probably going to be around 500 million, I'm guessing.
So.
And then overflowing.
I get that. I'm confused though because Paul Tassi has a tweet up that has that exact same stat line, but the rewards include the overflowing dawning presence, the exotic. I don't know if you can see that.
I can pull it up real quick. Hold on.
Oh, there is 5. Why would you do that?
Yeah, there's 5. So
we're on adequate.
Yes, we're on the blue one right now. That's our reward. Then we go to purple.
That's a weird way to show data, but
yeah. So I mean,
but all I know is we're on track to not hit it. So
what's that?
It's okay. It'll be everybody already has because they won't give you anything new.
See, I think if it's going to be an exotic, I guarantee it's going to be a ship or a sparrow.
We already got the ship.
I bet it's probably going to be heir apparent.
Again,
Well, they said that they pulled
They
it
did
out of
take
the
it out.
exotic kiosk so that
Mhm.
they could reuse it in another event. That's the only thing I can think
it
of.
wouldn't be worth it.
If it's heir apparent, people are going to be pissed.
Yo,
If
I'm
it's
gonna be
anything but a new exotic, people are going to be pissed.
Anyone who needs the Shattered Throne checkpoint, I have it for the rest of this
That
week.
would require me to log into Destiny.
I might need it. I need to go look.
You
No, I
you
have
gotta
heresy.
you gotta have a Titan or a Warlock now. They have discovered, but it works best after the ogres. But I've just been using other weapons because you will get kicked for inactivity. I've just been using like Void LMGs, arc, anything but solar, because you can get all your other materials by just killing the ads, along with having your sunspots and your ACD feedback fences.
I do have the 3 pieces for the bow, so I have to go through there at some point in time.
I've had those. Okay, I thought they mentioned this in a TWAB. I maybe it was like a hopeful thing that you could get rid of them. I have 3 of them. I've gotten Wish Ender on 2 characters, right? Just for helping people through Shattered Throne when that was new. Well, on my Hunter, I've had those same 3 pieces for 4 seasons, 3 seasons, and I can't get rid of them. I'm like, those could be bounties. Those could be 63 of 63. And why is it 63? I don't get it.
I don't know.
But
I
would like to
don't
get
think
rid
I
of
have it yet, which is why I have them.
We
So at some
can.
point in time, I have to go through there.
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Well, that looks like we're about wrapped up for this year-end show. Like I said, we'll be back next year with 2 different shows, all under the Fireteam Misadventure banners for lots of fun. So for you 3, I hope you guys have a really fun Christmas and a good New Year.
Thank you.
I don't know about
as
you,
well.
but I'm doing a board game marathon for New Year's, so I'm
What
playing
board
at board games.
Please be if Monopoly is your first one, you won't play any other board game. You're gonna fall asleep.
I own like Monopoly Gamer, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Mario. That's it. I stay away from Monopoly. But I've got games like Nemesis. I got the Sonic the Hedgehog battle game. I have the Street Fighters miniatures game coming in soon enough. So, yeah,
I'm old
I
school.
have fun games.
I have Battleship,
Yeah, Catan.
Connect
I have
4,
Star Trek
Guess
Catan.
Yep.
I'm old school. I even still have Candyland.
Candyland is my favorite game. I've
Love
got every version
Candyland.
of it. It's not even funny.
Actually, I got a couple games now that it goes into like a little box. So that way you could put them on yourself, and so I've got Life and Sorry in those.
Yeah, I found a game I wanted ever since I was a kid called Ghost House. Target reprinted it for Halloween. Absolutely love it. The board opens up to become the house, and you build a 3D house, and there's it's like Mousetrap. Marbles fall through and activate ghost traps. It's so much
Love
fun.
Mousetrap.
Yeah, I have
I
Mousetrap.
never liked games that were that involved that had that
Don't
many
Break the
pieces.
Ice was a good one.
My son hated Don't Break the Ice.
Like you tap on the little thing, please don't all of them fall.
And they all fall out.
Please, they all fall. Or if there was one, like you had to balance it. What was it called? Topple or
Topple
something like
sounds
that.
familiar.
It is yeah. Or
Jenga?
or nah. It was literally you balance
created
something and you had to put stuff on top. It was really
So we took all the little Jenga pieces and we wrote on it, like take a drink,
Of
remove
course.
our clothing. We were all in college, doing stupid shit, right? And then then we put up Jenga, and if you pull one out, you have to do what's ever on it.
You
So-
pull out?
As an offshoot, Code is
to
doing a
avoid some life mistakes. Yes, you do.
and they
No
did it on
comment.
Cavity Sam, which is the Operation Guy pop. It's oddly creepy. I have it. I should go grab it. It's a very creepy pop of the guy with the nose and just all these holes in his body. Like, it's fucking weird, y'all. Of course I had to get it. I have a problem.
We all have problems. It's called We Play Destiny.
All right. So with that, we're off. We'll be back with you guys in the new year. You guys all have a great New Year and great Christmas. And
Merry
holidays,
Christmas,
everybody.
Feliz Navidad, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year.
Yep.
Stay safe out there, please.
playing.
Yeah.
Not PvP, but keep playing.
Oh, yeah, don't go
Stay
into PvP.
inside and bitch about playing Destiny all day.
That's what this whole thing was ranting. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
it's all
All
good.
right.
Everyone does rant videos.